Hey guys, the DVD update here again for another Horror Month video. In this video, I will be reviewing the film John Carpenter's Vampires, or Vampires. That's what the cover looks like. Nice sunset. All the guys there chilling. Back. Let's see, this DVD is released by Columbia Pictures. I just picked it up for $5 at Circuit City. I had never seen this before. It came out in 1998. I've always wanted to see it, but I don't know, never got around to it. It has, I believe, full screen and widescreen. Thusly, it's going to be a stupid-ass flip disc. But, let's see. From the Master of Terror comes a new breed of evil. It's got James Woods in it and Daniel Baldwin, which I think they both did a pretty good job. Let's see what special features this has. Languages. English and French, subtitles in English and French, a theatrical trailer, scene selections, and anamorphic widescreen and full screen formats, and it includes a director's commentary, which is of course the commentary by John Carpenter. Like I said, 98 vampire flick, so it's not really that much of a horror flick. I mean, you do jump, there is supposed to be some jump scares in there, but for the most part it's more action and just them trying to kill the vampires. It starts off in I think it's New Mexico, if I believe, and James Woods and his crew, which you can see he's got a crew of, I can't remember how many, like 6 or 7, maybe 8 men, and they're all vampire hunters, trained as vampire hunters, and they break into this house, which they call a hive, I think, I'm not sure, and basically to kill the vampires. And they broke into the hive. They kill vampires. You know, they got they got a friggin' Jeep, and then like a armored van that's kind of cool. That has all sorts of vampire fighting weapons in it. And in this film, the only way you can kill a vampire is via sunlight or stabbing them through the heart with a wooden stake. Crosses aren't going to work. Onions aren't going to work. Holy water is not going to work. Those are the only two ways, basically. And so they break into this house. They encounter some vampires. They quickly kill all of them. And he's wondering where the leader is, because there's always a leader within a hive, a more powerful vampire, if you will. Usually one that's turned all of the other vampires that are living in the hive into vampires. But there's none to be found, so their job is done. They go back to a motel to party with hookers and beer. And also they carry with them a priest, you know, who blesses the bodies as they come out and catch on fire, or the dead bodies of the vampires. And so they head back to this motel to celebrate their victory over the hive of vampires and no one getting hurt. That's when we see a head vampire pop out from underground. He like buried himself in dirt when it's nighttime, and basically this head vampire goes to the motel, and he bites this hooker that's in waiting for James Woods in his room, and then proceeds to go into the room where everyone's at having a good old time and kill every single one of the vampire hunters and hookers and any other person that might be in the way, including the priest, except for 2 of them, Daniel Baldwin and James Woods, who quickly try to escape, but not before, of course, trying to kill him, which is not happening. He's too powerful, and plus it was a rush attack. No one knew he was coming, and they grab the hooker, who they know has been bitten by this head vampire, because they know as she turns into a vampire, she is going to have a link with them. So they think that she is going to help them find out the location of this head vampire guy. And so they try to escape. They narrowly escape this guy who's chasing them. And then basically they split up. James Woods tells Daniel Baldwin to take the hooker who's been bitten to a certain hotel in another city, and he was going to go to headquarters, which we find out next that they are employed by the church to hunt the vampires, the Catholic Church, by the way. And he goes to see the cardinal, who is, I guess, the head of everything. And basically what the cardinal proceeds to tell him is that all the other vampire hunter groups have been taken out. And then he shows him a picture, and it's the head vampire this dude's talking about that attacked these guys. And they find out that he is basically the first ever vampire. So he's the strongest motherfucker you know. And he's gathered up all the other I think there's eight including himself, so 7 other head vampires. And he's basically hunting down a cross that is supposed to, once they do a certain ritual, is supposed to make them be able to walk in the daytime. And so basically James Woods and Daniel Baldwin and the vampire girl try to track, also with they provide the guy with a new priest as well. And those two basically are given instruction to go collect another team together to go hunt, train them and to go hunt these vampires. James Woods is having none of it, and he thinks him, the priest, and Daniel Baldwin plus vampire girl can go ahead and track down the head vampire by themselves before he gets to that cross. And basically that's the rest of the movie, is Daniel Baldwin, Alec Baldwin, the priest, Daniel Baldwin, James Woods, there's no other Baldwins in this, and the vampire girl and the new priest. They go after the head vampire using the kind of like psychic connection that this girl who has been bitten by him has. Basically, she can see what he sees for certain periods of time. So she helps track him down till they finally do, obviously ending the movie out with pretty good finale, I think. I actually really did like this one. I figured I would, since viewing the trailer, it looked like a pretty good flick. And so yeah, that was John Carpenter's Vampires. If you definitely like vampires, check it out. If you like John Carpenter, definitely check it out as well. It's based on a book, which I might actually hunt down and read. So yeah, that was John Carpenter's Vampires. I give this one an 8 out of 10. So, like I said, I will see you guys whenever I get around to making another video.